I should have asked before, but I want to ask Brother Davis to today bless the meeting and open us up with a prayer.
Father in heaven, we thank you this morning. We glorify your holy name. We adore you, we reference you for such a wonderful day that you, Lord, have made, that we should rejoice and be glad in you. Yes. Father, as we have gathered tonight, we ask for your presence in our midst. Amen. We ask you, Lord, to send your angels to take control of us. In our discussion, oh God, yes, let there be peace, yes, unity, and love. Amen. Father, as we have come in one accord, let our reason and our mindset be in one accord. Father, anything that will bring any dispute, we cancel it now in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. Father, we commit even those that are on their way that your angel will bring them successful. Yes. Father, let everything that we are going to do under this roof bring glory to your holy name. Yes. We give you all the thanks. We give you all the glory. We give you all the adoration. Amen. In the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Please take your seats. All right. One more time, one welcome. My name is Apostle Larry Dokenu, and Senior Pastor of Rivers of Life Bible Church here in Amsterdam. As some of you, are becoming aware of, or maybe you're getting used to, by the grace of God, because of the radio programs we do, we have the chance to look at issues and topics which are sometimes rarely discussed in our community. When I say in our community, I mean the West African Bible community. And it's so amazing how ignorant most of us can be about certain particular issues. And I think these forums actually help us by educating us and giving us the awareness we need to live fruitfully and constructively in this society. Now, if you have been a part of some of our meetings, you may have heard us talk about gender issues, about homosexuality, about child abuse and stuff like that. Now, these are issues that most people know very little about. So that wherever you find yourself at any point in time, you can intelligently and wisely discuss. That shows that you are really exposed. And so I think we should appreciate the fact that we have the opportunity to interact and to discuss topics like this. Okay. Welcome. Hello. Please take this. Yeah. Okay. Now, today we're going to be talking about the topic or the theme of our discussion is marriage for the sake of honor. Now, maybe you're wondering, what is this theme all about? You may have heard in recent memory that the certain parts of Asia, I think Pakistan and India, there was a controversy, probably Somalia as well, of a couple who got married, and because they were not Muslims or something, they were strongly persecuted. And there was even another case where a lady was killed because she wanted to marry somebody else, and the family didn't want that, and they killed the girl. So some of these things have been there for a long time, and most of us are not really aware of what's really playing out. Now, these are the things you call, marriage of honor or marriage for the sake of honor. There is something that the family is seeking to protect. That's what is called family honor. Now, we might say that in Africa, where we come from, we don't have things like this. But you have to remember that the word is called arranged marriages. People sometimes are made to marry certain people. You see? So here, the choice or the interest of the woman may not even count so much. You see? They carry a young woman, a young lady, and they go give to a chief and say, this is going to be your wife. And that's it. Whether he loves you or not, it doesn't matter. Those are issues we call honor-related marriages. You see? And people say, well, these things belong to the past. We don't have them. But is it true? Well, that we're going to find out today. Now, today we have two special guests. One of them is here. The other is going to join us soon. Going to join us from, she has an engagement in Leiden. She'll be coming in from Leiden. Now, I'm going to introduce the first guest, and then we're going to start. Now, the format of today's program is as follows. I'm going to be sitting with the guests, and I'm going to be asking them questions, and they're going to be answering, and then you also have the chance to make contributions and also to ask questions. All right? So that's how it's going to go today. Okay. So before I proceed, let me introduce my precious wife and let her bring a word of greeting.
Thank you so much.
Please come stand here. Stand in the middle.
Well, my name is Apostle Dokken, co-pastor of Rivers of Life Bible Church. Also a relationship and family life consultant. So also I'm in the media director of So as you know, this topic is very important. It's very, very important because marriage is very necessary from the side we are coming. Sometimes we are in this Western world and they say marriage is not very relevant. But being a reverend minister, I believe that marriage is very relevant and it's very important that people are not being forced into marriage. So as you listen to our guest speakers, I trust that you will get something out of our discussion. And please feel very free to ask your questions or make some contributions. So let's have this discussion in a very friendly and mature way. God richly bless you.
Thank you. All right. Well, we're going to have a round of introduction very quickly so we get to know who is who. You know everybody's names as much as you can memorize them. And then once we're done, we'll be started. Okay, I think I introduced myself already. Okay. Many I should play yourself first, Stella.
I am brother Omil, Pastor Omil. I'm from Dominican Republic.
Okay, from Dominican Republic. Pastor of Jesus is alive, so Jesus lives. Sorry, I got called a few days ago and the call wasn't clear, so excuse me. Okay, then
my name is Ibn. I'm a Nigerian woman. I live here in Amsterdam, and I like this talk shows. I like to hear people's opinion and give my own opinion.
Wonderful. Thank you. We're happy here tonight. Miss Evelyn Ama, thank you very much. She's been a regular participant in our community forums. Yes. And then, beautiful lady.
My name is Stella Felix. I'm from Nigeria.
Okay. Stella, is there something you do as well? I mean, what do you do in your community?
Yeah, actually, I'm a nurse. And hopefully in 2 weeks' time, I'm going back to school because a scholarship has been awarded to me to further my program. So,
so Stella Felix is the name. Okay. And then, oh yes, the lady who just walked in. The beautiful lady who just walked in.
my name is Cecilia Achonu, popularly known as Ezinne Cecilia.
Okay. Then let's have the lady here behind you.
My name is Patience Okazo. I'm from Nigeria. I've been part of this show right from onset.
It's true.
Okay, sister Patient and Favor. Are you also Patience? Yes, that's right. Favor Patience Okazo. Thank you very much. It's been very supportive of our programs. God bless you really for being here tonight. Okay, then the gentleman. Good evening, sir.
My name is Herbert Abios. I live working in Amsterdam. receiving a lot of programs. I follow her also on YouTube. I watch some of your programs. So when I saw the program, I said, okay, I have opportunity of actually being there and seeing what you are doing. I've been able to meet her once somewhere in the city with my wife, and we had some chats. So I said this is an ample opportunity for me to actually
physically get to meet people,
Awesome.
touch flesh and bones.
yes, and see what is happening. Thank you very much.
What is your name?
Herbert.
Herbert.
Are you from
Nigeria.
Nigeria?
Yeah, I'm from Nigeria.
Okay, wonderful. Would like to hear your wife's name and your voice. Huh?
My name is Sylvia.
Sylvia.
Yeah, we live down the road.
Down the road.
Down the road.
Okay, and then let's have the gentleman.
Okay. I am Honorable Henry Obino Machu, a politician
Yeah.
and Imo State Coordinator in the Royal Kingdom of Netherlands. Thank you
Wow.
very much.
Thank you. Well, we have very important people here now, basically, right? Thank you. And then let's have a gentleman at the back. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
My name is Brother Javis, African United Gospel. I'm standing.
You're from United what?
African United Gospel Band.
African United Gospel Band. He's a musician, he's one of our popular and very one of the finest musicians and singers actually.
Gospel artist.
And I'm here because, not only because I'm in Nigeria, but we need a voice.
Yeah.
And that voice is what we're going to hear today. So just feel free to impart yourself and be one of the voice. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, now we're ready to roll. I would love to seize this opportunity to introduce our first one of our panelists. He goes by the name Imam. He's an Imam actually in a mosque. Imam Rian Dil Rosun. Now he is actually frustrated now, but he's Indian by ancestry, right? Okay. And we've been good friends. We've known him for a couple of years now. He's a very, very open-minded person. He is willing to come to our church to come visit. So that's how open he is. He's an imam of the mosque in Amsterdam called Islamic Anjuman. Correct? Okay. That's the name of the mosque. And you know what? Sometimes we kind of take a distance from things we don't know much about or we are comfortable about. And that's the cause of the problems we have today, because people are not open-minded, and because they are not open-minded, they become prejudiced. You see, they discriminate against things that they don't know much about. You can know about something, but not necessarily believe it, okay, or ascribe to it. Now, since we began to mix and we began to hear, we've learned more about Islamic religion, and he also is learning more about Christian religion. You see, it doesn't make me become a Muslim, or neither does it make him become a Christian either. Okay, but if we are to live peaceably in this world, I believe we've got to know more about ourselves so we can become more tolerant. This is a perfect opportunity for you and me to learn something maybe we didn't know. Now, it's my honor this afternoon to welcome to the table Imam Ryan Rosa. Okay. Take any of them. Yes, that's okay, fine. Now, the format of tonight will be as follows. Like I said, I'm going to throw some questions to him, and then he's going to try and answer. And while he's answering, you have the right to either ask a question or also comment on what he's saying or what anybody here else may be saying. So that's the kind of open forum we have tonight. I think I have to close that door. They will not know we're here. But now they ought to know. Yeah. Okay. Give me 1 minute to put my phone off. Okay, now, I believe you've heard the introduction already, but let me just one more time refresh it by saying that today we want to know your opinion about arranged or forced marriages. Do you think that these things are still happening in our modern day society because of people's cultural and traditional beliefs? But just in case you think there are no more, we invite you to be a part of this forum. Now, I would like to ask Imam Ryan, what is an honor-related marriage? Can you tell us?
Before I begin, in the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, may all God's blessings be upon all of you coming here, and may He lift you up in a good place with the Lord Himself. Yes. What is an honor-related marriage? If I talk about Islam, honor-related marriage is a marriage concerning the honor of the family, and sometimes even concerning the honor of the girl. And then I have to think about a girl having sex before marriage, and the family knowing about it, and before they will go over to the honor killing, they say, okay, let's go and marry the boy. But mostly the boys don't want it because they only want to have sex with the girls and they don't want to marry the girls. But mostly it is concerning in Islam girls forced against their will to marry somebody for the honor of the family. And it is mostly about money. About getting some political advantage, because that man, the father of the boy is in high esteem somewhere else. So, and I have another political party, so let's marry the two, and then we'll be better. It always comes to that point. Concerning Islam, it's forbidden. It's totally forbidden. But people, mostly the girls, are being kept ignorant. And the people just don't want to listen. They always say it is an Islamic rule, because the girl has to listen to the father. The father has to give the consent for marriage. But that's not true. The girl has to give the consent for marriage, and they turn it around. We try to educate people, and it's hard, but it's an ongoing thing, because I think it was last year, in the media it came to be known that more than 1,000 girls are forced to marry somebody else in an Islamic country. And it's something we have to fight against. Fight against it with education, and if that isn't working out, fight it with the with the justice, the legal system that we have. Back to you.
Yeah. In the meantime, our second panelist just walked in. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce to us tonight Dr. Shada Nadram. She is an associate professor of entrepreneurship and spirituality. At the Nairobi Business University.
Awesome.
Yeah, yes. She's been on our show once, so this is, I think, a second appearance. With us. Yeah. And so she's just coming from Leiden to be a part of this evening's discussion. We appreciate the sacrifice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. This is Imam Ryan De Rosun. I will just introduce him. So he just set the ball rolling. So the format of tonight's meeting is this way. So there are a set of questions I'm going to be asking, and then everybody will be interacting with us as we proceed. So it's an open forum.
Yeah, that's fine because I'm not the expert here. Meaning, all of you can bring your thoughts, and then jointly we can create some new ideas.
Yeah.
So we just kicked off with a question: what is unrelated marriage? Sorry, I'm coding. It's not going yet. So he has just given us his take on it. And so if you want to add something, also. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Sorry, my name is Honorable Henry Onwaju. We are talking about two different things, forced marriage and arranged marriage. So I want to know the difference.
No, it can even be the same, because in an arranged marriage it can even be a forced marriage, because if the girl doesn't give her consent, it's a forced marriage. Arranged marriage, it's something cultural. You see it everywhere, because then the family, or mostly the parents think, with the good things that they have in mind, I want to have the best partner for my daughter. Even sometimes around, and want to have the best woman for my son. But mostly they don't ask the children about it. And the moment the children are asked about it and they say something and the parents leave it because they don't say, I don't want it, it's okay. But the moment the boy and the girl, they say, for Dad, it's not for me, but they still go on with it, then it's a forced marriage. So it's still arranged, but it goes to a forced marriage, because you can also be, it can be the same.
You're talking about forced marriage, right?
Forced, yeah.
Is it not because of your people's cultural norms and values?
Yes, yeah. It's mostly cultural value. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
You see, in arranged marriages, you see many arranged marriages happening these days also in every part of the world. If you look at the Asian community in India, for example, arranged marriage has been there all the time, present. Even till today, some of my friends in the academic world, they also are very open to arranged marriages because it's very practical.
Yeah.
It's part of their culture. And they think, if you arrange it, at least then you know if the basic values are, in agreement between the families. And that's one of the basic things. I have seen some friends posting their whole profile on the internet or asking, family, friends to look for some partner for them. And these days, even the higher educated people are open to it because they don't want to take the risk of just go ahead with someone and then after a while get divorced. So it's a cultural thing, but it's very pragmatic. The moment it is being something forced, then you can say, okay, that's something not acceptable. But if you look at rural India, for example, it's a very acceptable thing. So when we talk about forced marriages, I don't think it's something that they talk rather about between or make the differences between arranged marriage and love marriage. That's the thing they talk about. Forced marriage, they will not bring it to the table.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Don't you think so that it's very dangerous for a girl to go into marriage without, dating? Because I was meant to understand that Muslims, they don't date. They only go straight to marriage, which is not too good. Don't follow the Western cultural system of dating.
You see, it happens now for so many years, for decades.
Yeah.
And out of those marriages, there are so many good practices, examples. So only maybe I don't know in percentage, but it has been there. So of course, on individual basis, it can be
I'm talking about dating before getting to marriage because we have a Muslim.
Okay.
He's in the position to enlighten us more, please.
Yeah. About that then. In Islam, we do have that they date, but mostly there is somebody with them because they cannot be together. But the modern girls and boys, they just date. They go somewhere and they meet each other. You cannot stop it. It's modern. It's normal. And don't try to stop it. Let them meet each other. A love marriage, it's nice, it's good. But you also have boys or girls that will say from dad, you choose, or mom, you choose for me a girl, or you choose for me a boy. But that is still that is still what they say. They stand behind the marriage. So you have people that date in Islam.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
My question.
Yes.
My question is, when you are the father and she's the son, and she's a mother to a daughter, and then you want your son to marry her daughter, then you bring the matter to these two children. They don't like themselves. What do you do next?
For me, as a father, I am a father also. I have 2 girls.
Yeah.
So I will not do an arranged marriage. I will let them choose themselves. That's my thing. But that's also the way my mom and dad brought me up. You choose yourself. If it is not good, hey, it's your fault. But you choose. Yeah. So that's the thing that I will give them. That I will give my children. I will give my daughters. So that's my thing. And in my community, in my Islamic community, all the moms and dads think alike. They say, my children, they have to look for somebody themselves. If they ask me, okay, then I will look for somebody in the community maybe. But if they don't ask me, let them look themselves. It's their thing.
This is your own opinion.
It's not only my opinion, it's a lot of it. Yeah.
Practically, this is what they do.
Yeah.
They normally want them in a situation whereby they don't like each other. How do you treat such matter? That is my question. Because sometimes it might bring problem between, so I want to know how you handle
For
it.
that, I would have to think about somebody that came to me in the mosque with this question. And he said, that was a boy, said, I have to marry somebody, a girl that I do not like, but I cannot talk to my parents about it. And then I talked to them. And it was a hard talk, because for them it was at that time it was a money issue, because the girl was related to the boy. They had a lot of money and they wanted to have the money inside of the family. And I had to come with all kinds of texts from the Quran and from the Hadith to tell them and let them see no, this is not how the Prophet told us to do it. And they were practicing Muslim. They were practicing their faith. And so I was talking to them concerning their faith to the boy. And later on, okay, it went, but they didn't feel right about it, because from them was what you said. It's normal, because it was an Indian family, a Pakistani family. It's normal there. It's really normal. And if a boy or a girl say no, that can be a problem. But maybe you can answer that one, because
Yeah, I know one case of a girl, an Indian girl, and she met someone outside India, and she wanted to get married. But these parents were, having this trouble, because she is from Rajput, meaning a higher class, and he is Brahmin, lower caste. Actually, Brahmin is not a lower caste, but in their perspective, And then she said, because it's a rich family as well, and she had a lot of trouble with the family. And finally she said, but even with all the trouble, I'm going with a boy and going to get married. She got married, she's going to come here to the Netherlands, moving to the Netherlands, because the boy has found a job here. And this means in practical terms that she went to or the boy went to India. They got married because part of the family of the boy then opened up and invited them, but no one from her family came because it's really it's such a terrible thing, you know.
They put you out of the family.
Yeah. But she said she had to make the choice either, you know, to stay there and be unhappy or get this forced marriage with someone else in the same caste, or make the decision to move out. And the lucky thing was that he could come here and find a very good job, and then finally she hoped that she can also join him, because she's not here still, the boy is here. It will take some months to come, etc. So
this is something which happened not too long ago.
yeah, just recently, so it can happen.
Okay, so this is
And then it is,
real, present day issues.
The point is because it is a high, you know, well-known family, and money is involved, etc., etc.
Always money.
Yeah.
Okay, Rajesh, please.
Thank you very much, because I just want to start from what you said, because from the panel director, he said, because of we lack most of the information, that's why all these things, when it happens, we can blame and say, first, I want to thank you because I'm hearing it first in life. You standing by the panel to say it is against the Muslim religion culture, which means you are at a clean aspect of it, because in the whole world, when we hear such arranged marriage and things like that, we only think of the religion have put them like that.
Yes.
Because then it, so, yeah, we said, okay, because they are Muslim, so to quote, and the Christian. Yeah, we said it because some of the fact that we know deeply that they don't want their richness to go to another family. What they have, they keep it indoor. But you stand here today to say it is against the faith, which is it is not good, right? I took it from you, number one. I want to impart on what my brother asked you, that dating before marriage, and you answered because marriage is said by God. And we are following the direction of God. The problem we have in the world today is because the religion came to us, mostly the black, in two forms. So we thought that if you're a Christian, your Christianity is different and Muslim is different. In Christianity also, you are not allowed to date before marriage. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, this is how it is.
You can date.
No,
Date, but you don't.
Yeah, but it's popular Western culture. Yeah.
There's a difference
Popular Western culture.
There's a difference behind dating and having sex.
Yes,
They are two different things.
Yeah. Thank you. Let me go direct on what you said. You said, which means if you have to get one of your followers and you find out that they have sex before coming to be husband and wife, will you allow to get married to two of them or not?
If let's say if two of my followers come to me, and I hope that will always be two, the boy and the girl, comes to me and says, Imam, we had sex before marriage. We know it's wrong, but we want to marry. Let us marry. Let us do the nikah, what we call it in Arabic. I will not stop them. Let them marry. Let them marry and let it be, from that moment on, let it be holy for them.
Yes.
And from that moment, let it be holy for them, and let God forgive them the sins that they did before. Okay, leave it like that. Yeah.
Now, my question is that once we have been hearing all this stuff in life, once we have born and we grow up, getting all this information, how can we affect a change? Does it mean that the parents are not giving their children the right information about marriage? Because if the parents have to taught the children how it does work, then they can also learn it. Like I saw you now, they introduce you as a professor. I wish to be a professor, but I cannot go and answer professor. If I don't go and study the course to be a professor,
Yeah.
I cannot be a professor. You are a man. If I cannot go and study what it takes to be a man,
Yes.
I think in this marriage issue, people are not being trained to be even qualified to marriage. Because the world put it open, they don't look into it. That's why a lot of divorce, because nobody is prepared even to ripe for marriage. Is it an important issue that we can spread to the world so that it will affect a change? Because what I'm concerned is change.
But this is also a part for the imams, because they have to be honest. A lot of them know the rules, but they just don't say it because then they will lose a lot of the community. Yeah, they will lose the community. I'm not like that, because when I will stand before God on the day of judgment, He will ask me, Ryan, you know about it. Why didn't you tell them?
Yes.
No, I fear God more than I fear my community.
May
Okay, one more question.
I add one thing?
Yes.
From the Hindu community, from Hinduism, there is no scripture where they say, that it should be an arranged marriage. Really, there is no scripture. So it has become a practical thing. But even, I don't know, centuries ago, it was the other way around. It was that the girl was choosing the boy. So it's a very strange thing, which is
even in Saudi Arabia, at the time of the Prophet, most of the girls went to the Prophet, I like that man. How can I marry him? Tell me, give me advice. I go to the parents, or tell your parents to go to them. But nowadays they are so strict about everything. Islam is simple, but people made it difficult.
There is this free will in Hinduism,
Yeah.
and they say, okay, you have your karma, you get the possibility to come back and do your duties, etc., etc. So from that point of view, there is always this idea of free will, and because if that's part of your karma, you should get the opportunity to do the things that are right for your own path, for your own calling, etc., etc. So given that, sometimes I also had some discussions with some pandits, in the temples, and they say these days, pandits also, they don't realize that, the couples or children, let's say, boy and girl getting married, and before marriage they have sex. There are some parts of the rituals that then can be excluded from the ceremony.
Yes.
If they do it, then everybody who knows the ceremony
Will say, "Hey, what are you
what's
doing?"
happening. So some of them are very open to it. So before, in the preparation time, they will say, okay, this is the version I will do, or that's the version. Are you okay with it? But some even don't discuss about this point. So.
And you know what you also can do as a imam? What I do when people come to me and say, I want to, or parents come to me, hey, my daughter or son wants to marry. So, fine. So you set a date, so okay, set a date, but I want to talk to them. Alone. Yeah, I want to talk to the girl, and I want to talk to the boy, and in my questions, I can see if it is against their will or not. And if it is against their will, I will step in. I say, no, this is not good.
Well, let me I think you see how, let me give it a chance to the lady in the green, and then maybe
I have a
Herbert?
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why is it that they cannot have sex before marriage?
In Islam, it's a sacred act. Do I say it good like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
It's something you even get blessings from. It's very. In Islam, when you have sex with your wife, you get blessings.
Yeah.
So this is the nicest way to have blessings. So, but the Prophet in all religion, sex is a sacred thing, and do it according when you marry according to the law of God, and don't mind Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Judaism. It's the same, and the faiths are almost the same. The wet line is the same thing. children to to stay pure. It's difficult. So you also have to have that in your mind, and you have to talk to your children about it, and educate them also according to that. Because if they are going to do something, that they will learn everything at school. But be open-minded with your children. I'm open-minded with my daughters, with my oldest daughter, my youngest one. But I'm open-minded with them. I talk about everything. They can talk. They can ask me everything, and I will give a straight answer. Because I want to be open-minded with my children, so that they will not make maybe the same mistakes I did.
All right. Is it about the sex before marriage? Now I want to just hold on so we can at least cover a few questions. Please just hold on to your questions.
Can I please, She's not clear to...
No, because why is it a mistake?
No, mistake that I did. I don't say that having sex before marriage is a mistake. According to religion, it's not good. But you will not get killed for what they do in other countries. That's why they in normal.
What's the good about it?
If you look at Islamic law, they will say it's better to marry quickly.
But she said something.
Oh, sorry.
And she said, why is it not good? I think if you will answer this question, it will be, you are just saying religion because of religion. I think it's not about religion or anything. It's about you honoring God. Because I believe I can easily present God to her than to present religion. Because when we begin to present religion, then we deviate from the whole thing. So if you fear God, because from God's own point of view, God says that we should be holy just like He Himself is holy. And when God instituted the marriage and it became an institution, the Bible said that the man and the woman, they both lied together and they were naked and they were not ashamed. So sex is being practiced when the man and the woman they have legally married, and that's the time they will lie together and they will not be ashamed. But if you do sex when you are not married, you will be ashamed. You will surely be ashamed because God has said it. That's the reason why the man will break your heart, and that's the reason why the woman, after sleeping with the man, will walk away to another man. So, each time people involve in sex when they are not married, it brings shame. God has anybody. It brings shame.
All right, let me come in here. We're going to keep your question. We'll come back. Now, let's talk about the honor part of this whole thing. Who gets the honor for, let's say, an arranged marriage or forced marriage? Who gets the honor? Is it the couple, or is it the family or society? Where does the honor thing come from?
The family. Family and then the society. It depends. If it is related to family and money, high esteem, then it's the family. When it's related that somebody had sex before marriage and the society knows it, then they say, let's marry against their will, but let them marry, then it's the society. But I think it is never the couple. For an honor-related marriage like that, it can never be the couple, because we're talking about against the will. Yeah. If it is against the will, never the couple.
So.
If it's involved in financial gain, really, how can there be an honor, Like, they are forcing people to marry for the money to stay in the family. Yeah. Where is the honor?
That is for them, it's their honor.
For them, that is the honor.
For them, it's their honor. Yeah.
Excuse me, please. If I may contribute to what you have just said, from my own perspective, the forced and arranged marriage, forced marriage from my own perspective is an irreversible decision made by the parents of a couple, so that you have to, undermost. While arranged marriage is reversible. When the matchmaker that is in between the two couples say, okay, I have found one person, so then they match them together. Then, if the woman does not like the man, then it can go back He can withdraw. You understand me? Then now come back to the question that the moderator have just asked. He said that who takes the honor? Then you said the society. That when the society takes the honor, I mean the family takes the honor. But when in a situation whereby let's say for example where we come from, I'm from Nigeria, where there's where the stratification in Nigeria is between the poor and the rich people. Then that means when the rich, when they arrange, the rich will continue to get richer, while the poor will continue to get poorer. But a situation whereby there is a free will marriage, a free will consent that okay, I saw this lady and I said, oh, I want to marry him, I want to marry her. In death, in sickness, in everything. You understand me? So maybe she come from a rich family and I come from a poor family. You understand me? Then there will be, the resource will be able to circulate very well. There won't be a stratification whereby the gap between the poor and the rich will be very close, just like in the civilized society where we are. You know, so I'm just saying that I disagree with you. Assalamu alaikum. That the family. I mean, I know the family takes the honor, but maybe I'll have to ask a question: what are the consequences of this kind of the consequences? Although there must be an advantages which the family takes. What are the consequences that arise as a result of forcing a relationship on couples or maybe arranged marriage? What are the consequences?
Then we're talking about forced marriage, because that's what I was talking about. If it is a forced marriage, then it's mostly the family that gets the honor of it, and sometimes the society, but not the couple. But what you were saying, the consequences for something for
the society.
For the society,
I think it's raising a very interesting point here. Saying that if you allow free marriages, then actually after a while, from a macroeconomic point of view, the inequality which is around could be equally divided. This is very interesting.
That's well. That's also the way it has to be done. Let people choose themselves.
One thing is never stay from sin. One is from day one they are created in sin. When God says follow this way, because they know that what they are doing is not right. See, money is the root of all things. They're supposed to know that, but they don't want to think about it. They say, I want to honor my family, whoever. But your child is not happy. The money is supposed to be, because the rich are supposed to take care of the poor. They don't want the rich to be poor and the poor remain poorer. God will hold them responsible for that.
But sometimes the poor come into a rich family and then this poor doesn't know how to behave herself because she has all the time been poor. So
Rose was not built in a day. Rose was not built in a day. She's very poor. Even at all, she's very poor. Then it is the man that saw her. He knows that it's a local or a village girl. He took her. Then he's ready to show her how to behave, how to walk in a majesty way and in a royal way. You understand? So yes. By the time they just said offering bad kunst. You talk offering bad kunst. Is that how they just say? Offering bad kunst. Practicing bad kunst. So by the time the man, teach her how to, the way, the modus of operandi on how to operate in the house, then they will know that no, she's
that's an excuse. That's getting there.
So, if I may continue, the consequences, maybe from my own perspective, the consequences that I think this kind of relationship can cause is that one, high mortality rate. High mortality rate. Then two, high mortality rate. Two, leaving the house unceremoniously, or maybe elope, eloping from the country to another place just in front of law. And I think it can also lead to pilfering attitude, thieving, or getting what is not rightly belongs to you, stealing your father's money or this and that, or property, just for them to be able to take care, to survive, and to take care of the other person. So those are, I think, maybe my other learned people can be able to contribute to that. Consequences, I've mentioned three. Maybe.
Okay, I think we'll get back to the consequences issue, but let me give the floor to the lady.
She wants to say.
What's your name again?
She wants to say.
Sylvia, yeah. Miss Sylvia.
I would like to know your opinion about Muslim old men marrying little children, even children as little as 8 years.
Yes.
They claim it's right according to your Quran. I would like to know your opinion on that.
This is related to the story about the Prophet Muhammad marrying Aisha. And then it's not in the Quran, but it's what they call the hadith, is the way the Prophet lived and everything what he did. And there is a passage saying that she was 9 years old, but that is the translation. If you give good translation to it, it means she has, how do you say it, reached, how do you say volwassenheid? Volwassenheid. She has reached adulthood, and then she got married. Let's say simple. By Islamic law, in every country that I know, even in Saudi Arabia, what is the most fundamentalistic country in the world, I think, not taking Iran with me, it's forbidden. It's forbidden. They do it, but when the police find it out, they have a problem. A really big problem. Because the men always say, oh, but there it is written down from she was 9 years old, so I can get a virgin from 9 years old. No, that is not what is written there. It's forbidden. By Islamic law, it's forbidden. It happens a lot, and it happens always in not in the city, but it happens in the villages. Yeah, and there you don't have many Islamic scholars. Maybe you have somebody who did the Hajj, who went to Mecca. Then they say, oh, he knows everything. No, he's not a scholar. To be a scholar, you have to have an academic degree. To be an imam, you have to have an academic degree.
In that case, where does honor? Where can we?
No, this is not honor. This is not honor. Yeah, this is lost fundamental.
Yeah,
this is lost fundamental. This is not honor. This is lost.
There is also something going on that the people are realizing. The Bible and what is it? And the Quran can be interpreted in a lot of ways, and that is causing quite a lot of trouble in the world.
Yeah, you have in the Quran you have clear passages that are rules, and you also have passages where God Himself says you can go two sides with it.
Yeah.
But if you think about it too much, you will go the wrong side. So stay away from it. It's for me, and not for you.
Yeah.
You can read it and know about it, but don't contemplate what this is that, so and so. No, stay away from it.
You will become extremists.
Yeah.
So what are you?
And that is what's happening. That's what happens when you look at then you can do this, I can do that, I can take it like this. No. And
okay, let me come in now. Is Sylvia's question answered? You said that marriage issue, the Prophet marrying an 9-year-old girl, is a misinterpretation. So what is the correct interpretation?
The correct interpretation, if you look at everything that it has her age, she was 18 or 19 years old.
18.
18 to 19.
19 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
From here in Holland, it's still legal.
Yeah, to get married.
I want to say marry somebody who's 50 years old, but it's what the girl wants. And but to be honest, at that time, in other places, it was normal for men of age to marry a young girl. And I have it. I'm not only talking in the Middle East. Yeah, I'm talking about in the Middle East, but even in Europe, there were girls married to old men. Later on, people said, hey, you cannot do that. Let's have an agreement from this is the age, from that age you can marry. And Holland is 18 years old. And that's it. But like I said, Islamic law, if we have Sharia, yeah, then it is forbidden. It's forbidden. Yeah.
Okay, is it related to the same point?
Yeah, but
okay, just quickly.
I think what you said is right now, because in those days, this is how many centuries we are talking about. Yeah, people are relating to what happened. That time was for a reason. They don't know the just cause why those people were doing it. But now we are in the modern age. If like the days we are counting now, ours is from Britain, civilization. In those days, there's nothing like these moons and everything. Yeah, it's true. So what is this misinformation and miscalculation of arrangement? Like now, she said, I'm from Nigeria. She said 9 years, right? It happened of 8 years. It happened often. When you, when you ask them, they give you different explanation. They will say, when you want to marry, you must marry a virgin. Listen, you must marry a virgin. And that's why they did the girl by 8 years. And now we discuss and you say it's a free will, you can allow them to do whatever they want to do. So all these things, when we are in this century, we happens to be fair what is happening now. If they say it's 19, so when you go back to the mosque also, you tell them that, okay, now it's 18 that have been agreed by the peace and unity of, because when you talk about the consequence, like he said, the consequence is not only that we will face it now, because you made one point that I like. Whatever you do here, you will stand before God and give account of it. And the account is, oh, sorry.
On your point from that you have to marry a virgin. In Islam, the best person for us to look upon is the Prophet. And if we look at the Prophet, his first wife was Khadija. She was a widow. She was a virgin. So, and he just married her, he just married her. And she was older than him. And she was working and he wasn't working. She was living, she was earning money, he didn't. So, they turned everything around.
From that scene, I can see that Khadija is older than Prophet Muhammad. But there's one thing he saw in Prophet Muhammad before he proposed that he wants to marry. Because Prophet Muhammad was working under her. And you see that he is very honest and very religious, very hardworking and dedicated, very trustworthy. And he said, I wouldn't want this handsome and dedicated person to move away from around me. Then he proposed. She proposed to him. Prophet Muhammad was 25 years old at that time, and Khadija is 40 years.
40 years old.
Right?
You know it.
And she proposed. You understand?
Yeah.
So this kind of a thing it happens during that.
But here it was consensual,
Yes, consensual.
So there's no problem about that.
Yes. I wanted to ask a question. You said that the hadith of the religious.
Don't go there.
Okay.
Let's stay on the topic, otherwise we'll miss the opportunity. Now, the next question I want to ask Dr. Shada is, You did research work in India on this honor-related crimes. We wanted to share with us some of your insight during that work. How were the marriages done? What are some of the things you came up against, and which actually prompted your research into this topic of honor-related crime? By the way, honor-related marriage is a part of honor-related crimes, which actually is forbidden. The government has to stand against that. So we want her to share with us a little bit about what she found out on the field while she did her research. Can you do that just about 5 minutes? And then, as she's giving the insight, you're welcome to interact and to poke quick questions at her and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, what I did with 2 other scholars in India is this gang rape in Delhi 3 years back, already 2 years back. We analyzed it from different perspectives. And so actually we wanted to understand why this is happening. And as there are so many cases around also, getting into the media, it was one of the main ideas for us. If we do the research and try to understand why this is happening, then maybe we can also propose some of these policy-related things to schools or to other governmental or NGO organizations. So that was the background. We looked up all the reports and the data. We had some interview, not many, because in these cases it's very difficult to find respondents sharing their stories. This is a shame-related thing, so how will you tell it to people? So that part was very difficult for us. So
you're saying you focus mainly on the rape cases?
Yes.
Rape cases.
Yes,
okay.
That one we did. And what we came out with, it's a very complicated thing. You can't say this is the main reason or that's the main reason. There were so many issues involved. We went back to say, okay, what is the cultural thing? The cultural thing, if you look at it, we say, okay, it is a male-dominated community. So then we looked at, okay, if you see how the power distance is between men and women, then you say, okay, man has been taking the lead, becoming dominant more and more in society and workplaces. So
okay,
somehow they think they have the power.
I'll just interrupt and proceed. Yeah. So you, when you got into the research, it became obvious that when you did the research, there was a lot of male dominance. So
yes.
The men were more powerful than women.
Yeah.
So that also contributed to the incidence of rape which was happening.
Yeah. What we did actually 2 things, 2 type of consequences. We looked into the direct consequences and the indirect. And it was very interesting to say, okay, when you try to explain the Delhi gang rape incidents, then we could bring it back to very psychological reasons that we could analyze all those people involved in such a way that we came out saying, okay, it was from a very uneducated family or someone had a lot of crises in the past or was not treated well. So from a psychological point of view, for each of these people involved, we could come up with that, saying that if you look at it, the psychological development of the person, they had to face a lot of crises. So these are not the average, normal type of, happily brought up citizens. So that was one of the direct type of reasons we could give. Then we said nobody is happening to, or in other places as well. So maybe there are more deeper causes. So one of the things we found out that if you look at the percentage of men and women, there is this inequality. I think about for each 1,000 boys, there are about 950 girls. So we see that there is this matchmaking problem will happen. Another thing is that there is this taboo, talking about sex-related topics in schools. So what happened actually after the Delhi gang rape is that in several schools now they are discussing this topic. How do you relate to the other sex? How gender issues should be discussed, etc. So that's the positive side of it, that actually only now they are talking about. There is no sex-related education or topics dealt with in the education, but as of maybe 2 years back, now they are talking about it. The other thing they say is that there is a lot of confusion also in the society. It's a society where you can find deep norms, values, etc. saying, okay, you should respect the other. You should respect the other gender, because if you look back also from a religious point of view, we have several expressions of God in women appearances, like we say Goddess, Lakshmi, Goddess, Saraswati. So we have embraced the feminine aspect even in expressing God. So how come that you will not honor? So that was a very confusing thing, and what we found is that this has also to do with the influence from Western type of communities coming in, and just also the TV, the internet technology. So while the society tries, or especially in the rural areas, which is the 90% of India, tries to keep their values and say, okay, this is the way we do our things. There is a lot of influence from outside without being integrated in their daily lives, without being discussed about, if they see girls and boys just having sex in films, etc., they will think this is a normal thing, without taking the time to discuss what is happening. So all the influence is coming from the Western society. Don't get the places in their traditional way of thinking. Children and parents, there is a huge gap when it comes to some of these taboo-related topics. They will not talk about it. So it is a very, very complicated thing. And I've also asked my colleagues to see if they can find cases where people want to share what happened, etc. And we try to see whether we can help these, because the point is that if these victims, they can't share it in the family, it's a shame, they can't share, they will not get help. And at the moment there are some schools having more possibilities to discuss this topic, but it is a very complicated thing.
Okay, so then you spoke about influences coming from the West affecting the young people. But also we spoke in the beginning, you spoke about the male dominance in the Indian society.
And the taboo, the sexual issues.
Come again. The taboo, not discussing these issues. So how does all of this play into honor-related marriages? In the context of what we are talking about right now.
I think that it has an influence on the attitude. The boys are being brought up in a different way.
They are more free.
With this attitude that whatever they want, they can get it, because they can choose and go to school whatever they like. So they are brought up with a lot of more freedom. Another thing is that the girl, if she gets married, actually the thinking behind it is that she goes to the family of the boy. She's leaving her own family. Call it Kanyadan. So actually the girls are being brought up with values, etc., till they got married and they go to the boy's family. Then they embrace whatever values are there. So this whole attitude or the perceptions of boys, I think it has its influence, because if you say a male is dominating everywhere, they get the best positions also at workplaces, etc. The treatment in the home is different, because anyway, the girl, if she gets married, she's in the family of the man, goes away and take care of the family. Then I think this has the influence of the male, that they think they can do everything. They have more power, more power even over the girls.
So,
okay, you can,
so education has to start with the parents then.
Yeah.
So that they know how to handle the
boys and girls.
Please, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Based on what my brother said about Khadija. Khadija proposed to Prophet Muhammad, right? And that was in those days anyway. But what happens if a woman proposes to a man now? Will she be penalized?
No.
Because,
India.
yeah, because sometimes our culture or religion puts us in bondage. Because, as a married woman now, maybe I can be working with my man, or even not with my man, and maybe I see a man on the street, or maybe somebody I used to know, and
you fancy
one way or the other, I fancy him, but I cannot say it out because of
your upbringing.
Yeah. No, that's adult. So, but sometimes it's not adultery.
Let's know what she's talking about.
It's not adultery, because sometimes it's good for you to appreciate the handwork of.
When you see somebody.
I know this person before. How are you?
No,
that shouldn't be a problem.
No.
When you're married.
But if you pay compliments to somebody, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And that's a normal thing we do.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello, are we
you say we are all children of God, and you treat the other as a brother. Yes, you give compliments.
Exactly.
What is the honor-related aspect of the question? I didn't get it. Or you just wanted to pass that comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to know,
It is good for women to, even in Islam, to propose.
So a woman can propose to a man. And I think that's a mentality we have, that women are not supposed to say what they feel. But now it's possible.
No, it's different. Can I say
go ahead.
as I mean it? In our culture, they used to say every ugly woman has an
There's no
eyebrow.
ugly woman.
I'm pounding. Yes, in Proverbs, they say every ugly woman has what? A potential. What do I mean? Every wise lady studying and get to a point whereby you are even a man, you'll be afraid even to go and approach her for marriage.
It's true.
Are you correct?
Yes.
Yeah, because she herself has the right because of her diploma. If I say I refer back to you, professor.
Yes.
A professor, do you think that a trader can just hold a coming to marriage to give a hand in marriage?
But in Holland,
they will not allow you to talk. Ask the professor. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, you done? Go ahead.
She was asking if it's allowed. It's allowed because when you put yourself as a value of something, you want price, and because of that price, that's why I said every ugly woman. And I don't mean practically that. Woman, what I mean that when you have the potential, there's a trader who have a shop. We first think he's a medical doctor. No, I don't then go there because because my intelligence is not up to level. So, and then there's no way it's going to work. So, if you're a woman and you put yourself, likewise, if I say American ladies now, before I walk out from here, some people will slap me because because every American lady wants different way of thinking. American lady can see you as a man. Go direct and talk to you.
I like you.
Yeah.
Europeans here is few. Yeah, Europeans is few. Yeah, because they look at the value of what you have, and
but that is the kind of mindset we are trying to change. It's limiting, you know.
Nobody put us in the box.
Exactly.
Put ourselves in that box.
Yeah, exactly. So we have to change that mentality. So if you're a woman, you fancy. If you're a woman, you're a cleaner, you fancy somebody who's a doctor, just approach them.
Exactly.
So, express your, give your compliments and show that you are interested. That's it.
Most people also attach a different meaning to that.
It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they think.
Okay, one quick question. Now, do you think that this honor-related issue we're talking about, we've cited a lot of cases coming from Asia, India, Pakistan. Do you think that we have this kind of thing happening in our own West African cultures today?
Yes.
Forced marriages. Okay, then let's have some examples so that we can really,
We have it in Nigeria. In the northern part of Nigeria, it happens.
The northern part of Nigeria.
Yeah, the northern part of Nigeria, where the politicians and the old men getting married to the smaller ones because of their money.
It's not only in the northern part of Nigeria. We also have it in my own area, in the eastern part of Nigeria, where the aces, the chiefs, they also politicians too. Maybe because they are family friends, and they have children growing up. So, and because they want that relationship to remain, so they make sure they arrange the marriage, the daughters to marry, and maybe in future.
So it's still happening today now.
In our society,
Is it arranged or forced? What is it?
For the sake of the honor.
Yeah, family honor.
For money,
Like when
Money status, family name.
personality.
But look, it's happening also in the high societies. Just look at Diana, and Charles. What do you think happened there?
It was arranged.
What do you think happened there? Was she not used? It's not only for money, right? Also like Charles was already having a lady. And this lady, the younger lady, didn't know anything about it. So she was just used to bring children, to follow the leadership. Is that not being used? You see what women are suffering?
You see?
You see how we are suffering?
No, she's supposed to.
Okay, let's look at this example. Our king, William Alexander, and Maxima, was that arranged or it was consensual?
No.
So at least.
England is something else.
Okay.
Anything happen anyway. Whatever it happened, but the only thing I know, whatever that happened, because I'm a believer. Everything is very spiritual. All these things you see must have happened somewhere. This is thankful. But I think that what makes things more exposed is this network. All this has been happening before, but we didn't hear it. But now when it happens immediately, everybody hears it. Understand? So it makes it look like it's rampant. It has been there for a long time. But now, because people also like to imitate when they say, they rape somebody, why don't we contract? We are trying to let people know to stop it, but at the same time, introducing them that this is what is going on. You can also do your own. So that's an advantage and disadvantages in this technology this time.
Can I ask this question? Would this be an honor-related situation? Let's say a young promising young man who is maybe in university about to finish, and then accidentally, because he was trying to sow his wild oats, and then he goes to impregnate maybe somebody not of his same class, maybe have a semi-literate girl, and then the girl becomes pregnant, and because he realizes that he has a higher value, a high future, so he cannot cope with that level of a girl, and then he decides because of his honor not to marry the girl. And when he dumps the girl, goes to look for somebody else of his class. I think that's a common scenario, isn't it?
Does
that happen?
And the child?
And the child, well, he will accept the child or reject the child altogether. No, but the point here is that, okay, I want to put this before our panel. Is that an honor-related kind of situation, relationship? Yes. Dr. Shada. So the girl was dumped because the girl has a lower social status.
Yeah. And when he was going, the guy was a high class.
When he was going, the guy was a high class.
So when he become pregnant, he become a low class.
So see the problem.
Well, the fact is that men can always make mistakes, you know, because when men are growing, they really want to try sex. So in the process of trying sex, they may go into a woman they are not really interested in.
So if you had a daughter, somebody did that to her, how would it be?
Well, nobody would do that to my daughter.
Oh, yeah.
No.
You've not answered the question. I will bring my daughter up properly. She cannot come so far to condescend very low. So my daughter wouldn't do that.
Because
no, you see, the reality is that sometimes we think this issue we're talking about is so far-fetched that it's not so far from us. But really, in reality, we are... Hello. Excuse me. One person at a time, otherwise we will not hear. I think sometimes we put this issue so far away, but actually sometimes very close, right at our doorstep. Right at our doorstep, isn't it? Yeah, we hear about honor-related marriage or violence, and we think it's so far away. But this is a very practical, down-to-earth example of what happens sometimes. Because of our honor, so, somebody in our family, maybe your son, your daughter, or uncle, or niece, or nephew, goes with a girl, and the pregnancy comes, they say, the mothers will say, ask for this guy is not coming to our family, because we don't like her. And then,
they will even
shut it down.
the girl.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, don't you agree?
it's not easy to be a parent. When you are bringing your children up, you must have told them to certain things you don't want them to do. Understand me? So, yet, being children or being who they are on their own. They do what they want. So, eventually, whatever you say, I don't like this. And when you say you don't like it as a parent, you will never like it later. So you have to pray for God, for your children to understand what you are teaching them. But whereby they have their own way and they don't follow, you have to learn to control that and not be violent about it. That's it. Because you always say, don't please my child. But remember your child. You don't follow your child.
No.
He has his own mind. Yeah. This is my parents' own idea. This is my own law. You don't tell me what to do.
But the first thing remains that if something happens, the parents would like to weigh in and say, hey, my child is not going for this girl or this family. You see? So then the honor thing is coming up. Because of your family honor, so you don't want your son to associate with that girl, even though he made a pregnant.
If there's a mistake, you have to learn to accept it.
Accept the mistake.
Yes, you have to readjust yourself. You have to readjust yourself.
Okay, now let me, you want to quickly ask, respond to that?
Contribute to what he just said. In a scenario where the parents, the man or the parent, tell their children that I don't want this. I don't want that. But that I don't want this, I don't want that. You know, these children of nowadays, they are very inquisitive. They want to know why. If you don't educate her and let her see reasons to why you say it's not good. If you say I don't like this, I don't like that, it's not enough for him. Just like the Imam said that you got to be open with them and tell them why the reason why it is good or it is not good. So like you
Even
said,
if he say they have their own opinion.
like you said, prayer is not enough. It's not enough to to make to make the children and I mean to behave in a good manner. But the point is that you need to educate them. That is where education comes in. Trying to let them know this is the effect of having such a thing. It will stop your education. It will not be able to follow your peers according to academically or socially and this kind of a thing. So those kind of a thing. When you tell the children, then they will be able to see. Oh, well, I think my mom is on the right side. So that is.
Yes.
Communication. Communication is really
important.
Be free. Let them know that they can always come to you.
To discuss.
Because you have parents when you're more wow, no.
Some parents when they ask them question, they will say, "Hey, don't ask me that question."
Yeah.
Don't ask me that question.
Only Africa.
And the children will go out. They will go out to learn it in a wrong. I mean, in another way. And at the end of the day, when it comes back home, it's going to be a trouble.
Okay, let me just ask the last question so we can, afterwards, whilst we're eating, we can just discuss. Now, the government actually is against honor-related marriages. Why and what really is a consequence for being a part of an honor-related marriage setup, setting up an honor-related marriage situation? What would be how does the government look at it and what are the consequences?
The Dutch government then?
Yeah, the Dutch government is against.
I could imagine that it has to do with the number of divorces. It's the chance that the divorces, that could be one of the things.
And also, I think he says depression, yeah. Also, like overriding people's free will.
Yeah.
I think that's
the biggest part. Yeah, girls and boys have the free will to marry whoever they want. So I think that is the point from the government, that somebody's free will is taken away from them.
Yeah. So, any other comments on this aspect? Basically, we wanted to use this forum to make all of us aware of the fact that this honor-related marriages is still with us, and sometimes we get involved without even knowing, and like we just outlined. But also, the government has to stand against it, and so we have to watch out and make sure that we don't, in a way, directly or indirectly, influence people to get into a relationship which is not from their own will, so to speak, and that could carry some consequences, legally speaking. Yeah. So I don't know if anybody has any other question, something you wanted to ask earlier.
I want to reframe the question for more clarity. What I want to ask is that why is it that the proportion of women, are in the civilized society like Netherlands, Holland that we are living, most of them they are free stand. They are free stand. They are single mom. And from my own personal research also, it causes a moral decadence, because a situation whereby a woman in a normal situation, man and woman supposed to be together to nurture the children, up to a standard, but a situation whereby the the responsibility is solely rest upon the woman.
Yes.
No authority in the house to checkmate. So the women, the ladies, when they reach the age of puberty, they want to try a lot of things, and by so doing, they become somebody. Somebody that can, that cannot be equal to their own peers anymore. So the question is that what is the government? What's the government of the Netherlands that we are, so to say, as a case study? What are they doing to ensure that that kind of a thing, diminish or maybe totally exterminated from their society, so that they can be able to have a good upbringing of their children?
All right, over to you, Father.
I think Professor should answer.
It's a free will between men and women. So how much can a government influence?
That wasn't the...
What is it then? What you ask?
It is in history. It is in system. Because if I speak from the Shunam community, because I'm a single mom also, it is within the history of slavery, whereby in slavery, the women and the men were separated. So they were grown up with that, of not having the husband around. So they was growing up of like the woman is the boss in the house. So the women grow up like you don't need a man. So then if you don't need a man.
But this is typical in the African society, or
because he's talking about it's also white girls, I think. The white girls they're talking about that. Okay.
It's also part of the system, because as a single mom, you will get more financial security from the government than when you are with a man. And when the man can get a job to take care of his family, then that causes tension between the man and the woman. So the woman needs to go out.
Every woman is divorcing, so she wants to know how it looks like. Harriet, yeah, Harriet didn't know what is divorce, but she had it for a lot of women. They divorce. It's okay, let me try how it looks like. The word we are now is like, they have chosen it because they went more higher than the way we think. And they put it that, oh, we know that if we do this like this, it will be comfortable for them. And we are taking it. Believe you me, it's not good condition for you. For what I'm advising everybody is that whether you're a single parent or you have what we call come together, whereby you can reason together with your kids. Because if you don't affect the change from your kids, they will still make the same mistake. Look at single mother, single father. What voice do the child get out of the streets? You find out that all these single mother, single father, they don't even have relationship with their father or their mother. Their mother don't care, their father don't care. So they live outside the gate. When you talk about rape, what is rape? For me, I don't know what is rape because it's not in the blood and it's not in the system. Anybody who goes to think of raping somebody have lost the mind. When you ask them, why did you do such a thing? They cannot give you any concrete answer that can make you say, okay, ask people now, why do you smoke? I smoke because I was frustrated from this. If you are frustrated, is it what we push you only to go and smoke marijuana? No. You can start eating food now, start eating rice or patat. The people choose the foolish way of life more than the right way, because at the end of it, they will think, I'm rejected, I'm abandoned, and this. No, nobody. Yeah. The point is that the solution is that we have something voice to tell the world. One person you meet and spoke to that person can affect a very small change in the community. Not to keep quiet and start blaming ourselves. It's a mistake of the government. The government, they are more wiser than us. Because when you talk about the people who make all these rules, are people who make rules that will favor you. Then now they don't make rules that will favor you. They make rules that will bring you down. And you have to take it. So for you to be accepting all those things, you have to be wise on your own. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Well. We have to draw the curtain at some point. Unless somebody has something very, very funny you want to throw in before me. Okay, I want to assume that at this point we have all pretty much had the chance to express ourselves, but also to hear what this issue is all about. And I'm sure that you will not say that honor-related crime or honor-related marriage or whatever is honor-related is only peculiar to a particular ethnic group or race or creed, you know. It's really a human problem, I think. We all at some point want to protect the honor we have. So I want to be sure that my daughter gets married to the son of the president. And so that is my target. Some people will groom their children specifically for a particular class of men or women. See, it's something with us really. So it's a human problem. But it looks like sometimes we take it to extremes, and you know, it does more, causes more harm than good. Especially
marries a president who's highly corrupt.
Yeah,
that's not a crime. That's a sin. All I want is that money
that money there.
My son.
Okay. But the adverse effect, and that's what Mr. Bambo was saying, is that we can have it our way all right, but there's always a consequence. That marriage may not last, or there may be other people who are also after the same money, and so it brings competition in the marriage, in the relationship, and other evil consequences can follow. And so really, you can't win all the time. You also can lose. So all said and done, we have to watch out. Anything that is done for the sake of promoting honor or gaining favor can be very dangerous. Okay. On this note, I would like to draw the curtain on tonight's program. I want to thank you so very much for your patience and for your lively participation. And we hope that you will take it home with you tonight. And it's something, one little thing, based on all that we've discussed today.
Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
While I was researching, so I read what they said, arranged marriage or forced marriage. There's a low rate of divorce when it comes to arranged marriage or forced marriage, because the children, the boy or the girl, will always be scared, afraid to leave the marriage that has been arranged by the parents. Yeah. Is it true?
If it's arranged and it's a culturally acceptable thing, then people will not easily go for divorce. When it's forced, it depends on the context, where it's in a rural areas in India, people also think marriage is sacred, so once married, that's forever, so you can't think of divorces. So that's there. It's a very cultural way of understanding.
All right. Is your question answered, Mr.?
Yes.
Okay, so I want you to, on behalf of all of you, I want to thank Dr. Shada Nadram for making time to be here. Shall we give a big applause for him? And also, I would like to thank Imam Rian Rosa for making time out to be here tonight. Thank you so very much. Now, big applause. I also want to thank every one of you who made time to be here tonight to support this program. Without you, there would have been nothing. So, can we give yourself a big applause? All right. In the meantime, some food is being served, so grab something, grab a bite. So when you go home, you don't need to cook. Let me do a little presentation. You won't ask the question now so people can hear, or just continue.
Okay, yeah, I thought you are.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, in your research from New Delhi, also in India, you made mention of the PD dimension, I mean the power distance between the I think which the masculinity and femininity in over there. But over here, the men are more on top, you know. But here, the women, they believe that maybe egocentrism, and at the same time, the law favors them more than the men. So they believe when they come from New Delhi and comes to a society of this magnitude, you understand me? They tend to misbehave. You understand what I mean? So because of that, the men, instead of being up, they become down, and the woman is now they want to take control of the house here in the Netherlands, and I think that kind of a situation is also causing all this kind of is one of the major things that is causing moral decay in the society. But from my own perspective, I think this kind of a thing is more peculiar to the urban city. But when you go to the interior, where the culture, the tradition, the norms, and the value of Netherlands still exist, that kind of a situation is not not the same as the one here in the urban city. So, from what I'm just trying to buttress a point that the feminism and the masculinity, which is part of the